Ladies and gentlemen, soon Arknights will have another The Front That Was banner. Plus a small limited time event in preparation for the upcoming episode 12. Where you basically can get some sanity potion. And more ARP's trust by playing the main theme stages. But let's focus on the new banner. So, this rather mouthful banner will highlight all the new ops from the 3 previous main themes. So as expected, Mulberry is gone, with Stainless added. This banner acts almost the same like a joint operation, where you can only get the featured 6-star operators, while the lower rarity got a higher drop rate. So, is this banner worth to pull? Well, first let's see all the featured ARP's abilities. Starting with Saileach. She's our 6-star flag bearer vanguard. The best archetype to choose if you need to print tons of DP. Although you mostly use her not for the sole purpose of obtaining DP, but also for her support utility that comes with it. For example, her talent 1 attack speed buff and debuff, and talent 2 DP reduction. Her skill 2 defense and regeneration healing. And weakening effects from her skill 3. If obtaining DP is your sole concern, it's better if you stick with the lower rarity. And pretty much Saileach is a 6-star you want to obtain when you already have a pretty good team composition. Some might think about obtaining her potential from here, but I don't recommend you do that on this banner as it can be a hell of a gamble. Meanwhile, Horn is a 6-star fortress defender that can deal tons of damage to the enemies. She got talent 1 to increase her attack and other defender, and can resurrect herself from death with talent 2, with a bonus that benefits her playstyle. She's also almost M9 worthy. You can use skill 1 for DPS and a utility to reveal enemies. Skill 2 to act as a nuker and deal arts damage. And while her archetype is generally better off not blocking enemies, but it's the best skill if you need her to fight the enemy head on, as it's the only skill that doesn't lose its AoE when attacking while blocking. But ultimately nothing beats a skill 3 DPS. If you need a strong physical dealer, I recommend you get this White Wolf. But keep in mind she's not the type of defender you want to use for blocking. And her range might be awkward, so make sure to make a perfect spot for her. For the last 6-star, we have the greatest engineer that ever lived. Stainless is a 6-star artificer supporter. A ground supporter that can deploy various devices to support others. And his devices don't discriminate, as it can be used for all operators unlike the lower rarity. His skill 1 can give someone up to plus 96% attack. If I remember it right, it's still the biggest attack boost support in the game, and can be stacked with other units' ability. While skill 2 provides SP support. And I can say it's the most efficient way to constantly charge a unit SP. He also gets a nice stats boost and attacks multiple targets when this active. Lastly, his skill 3 offers AoE damage and unique utilities. After some hits, the turret will fire a physical AoE attack, based on the percentage of Stainless attack. Operators with offensive recovery can attack it to gain SP. Operators with heal on attack ability can also gain heal from it. Plus more amazing utilities to offer. Truly a peak of British engineering. Having Stainless will surely be helpful for other operators. And he has potential as a ground supporter and being the best at it. Typically this is the case in IS mode. And he can replace a ground unit in SSS, and gain supporter buff. But much like Saileach, I only recommend you get him once you have a solid enough team. Now for the 5 stars. For Mulberry, I'd say she's the best wandering medic the game has to offer. Hoederer is equally good, especially when it comes to multiple healing. So you probably don't need another if you already built her. But I often find Mulberry's 2 burst healing and elemental reduction preferable. Plus a talent that benefits medic more. Next up we have Rockr. Rockr is a great single target DPS caster mostly with her S2. Although there is requirement for her to achieve her peak DPS. Like how you need her S2 overload mode, which can make timing difficult, and can end with her getting a very long stun. But still, I recommend her if you need a single target arts damager. However, if you need a mecha cord with crowd control utility on the side, might want to build Yera or Click instead. The last 5-star is Paprika, currently the only chain medic in the game, which as the name suggests works similarly like Chain Custer. And I'd say, go build some other medic instead of her. She doesn't provide any unique utility, other than the chance she can heal someone further away from her range. The talent requirement is also very low, and ultimately her trade does make her healing weaker. Now let's talk about the 4-star. Roberta is an artificer like Stainless. Her support is all about defense, and her device can provide support that no other unit can do. That is giving units some free shield to protect them against any instance of attack. Sadly only for ground unit, but acceptable since they tend to be the ones that tank damage. And like Stainless, she's also useful if you need a ground supporter. And of course triple S to replace other ground units and gain supporter buff. Next up, we have Chesnut. Chesnut is a wandering medic. I'd say you better build either Mulberry or Honeyberry. There are drawbacks that make him inefficient to deal with elemental damage, mainly because he doesn't prioritize someone with elemental damage. Talent 1 is a straight up discrimination to ranged operators. Skill 1 heals a lot of elemental buildup but no increase in normal healing. And there's a chance he heals someone with the least or even 0 elemental damage. Skill 2 is an ice burst heal, but it limits his range and has a big SP cost. But he is still useful in a stage or mode where lower rarity shine, like IS mode for example. The last one on the list is Totter. For his rarity, Totter is a great besieger sniper, mainly because he can attack invisible enemies thanks to his talent. While weirdly enough he doesn't prioritize invisible target, but still a very useful talent, since an invisible target can be troublesome. His skills are also nice, with his AFK skill 1, or multi-hit skill 2. That deals critical damage if it's only one target. So, we have seen all of the featured ops abilities. What do you think? I only recommend you pull this if you don't have all, or most of the operators. And if you're not sure, might as well skip, and prepare for the upcoming new operators banner. That should be all. Adios. Wait,